The historian described all documents on Buddha from the pillars of Ashoka in Pali language. Ashoka was the Mauryan emperor of India. In 261 BC, he attacked Kalinga. The war occurred on the banks of Daya river, which is now at Bhubaneswar of Orissa in India. In the war, 100,000 died and 150,000 was captured by him. A lot of blood changed the color of the river. There we found a Shanti Stupa, Sadharma Bihar Monastery, which was renovated in 1972 by Hindus and Buddhist devotees. got the victory but lost his cruelty. The bloodsheds and the dead bodies converted a cruel soul to a divine soul.
नमामि बुद्धं
From the very word, he took the path of peace. After he took Prabrajya from Upagupta, he came under the shade of Buddhism 222 years after the death of Buddha. So he tried to find out the actual objects of Buddhism from the origin. On that occasion, he confined himself in a room approximately 2 years for meditation. In his meditation, he found all footprints of Buddha and the history of those places. One night, Queen Mayadevi had a wonderful dream. She had a vision of a white elephant which came floating down and entered her bedroom through a window. The queen felt as if it had entered her womb. The room was illuminated. The king called the court astrologers for explaining the dream. The astrologers declared that they were going to give birth to a son who would either be a powerful king or a great sage. Moreover, they said after going through many lives, he is going to take birth as their son. As per social customs, Mayadevi, accompanied by Gautami, left Kapilavastu for her paternal house. In the midway of Lumbini Park, the pain started and she gave birth to a child under a shal tree. In Buddha's time, Lumbini was situated the east of Kapilavastu and southwest of Devadaha, which was ruled by the Shakya dynasty. According to the Buddhist scripture, it was the place where Buddha was born. A pillar discovered at Rupandehi in 1896 is believed to mark the spot of Ashoka's visit to Lumbini. The site was not known as Lumbini before the pillar was discovered. The inscriptions on the pillar is in Pali language, which means when King Devanampriya Priyadarshini reached 20 years of his age, he came himself and worshipped this spot as it was the birthplace of Buddha or Shakyamuni. He set up a stone pillar on the spot. He realized that Buddha himself had blessed him to discover this holy place. King made the village of Lumbini free of tax. The park was previously known as Rupandehi. which was 2 miles or 3.2 kilometers north of Bhagavanpura. On the 3rd century BCE, according to Robin Cunningham, excavation beneath existing brick structures of the Mayadevi temple at Lumbini provide evidence for an old timber structure of a Buddhist shrine built during the Ashokan era. In the present day, the holy site of Lumbini is 4.8 kilometers in length and 1.6 kilometers in width. In this monastic zone, only monasteries can be built. The constructions of shops, hotels and restaurants are not allowed. It is separated into an eastern and western monastic zone. In the eastern, having the Theravadin monastery, and the western having Mahayana and Vajrayana monastery. When we entered inside the Lumbini Park, we found a long water-filled canal separating the western and eastern zones, with a series of brick arch bridges joining the two sides along the length. Motorboat riding is provided for the entertainment of the tourists. After entering the park, we saw a golden idol of child Buddha in front of the gate. The idol indicates the birth sign. In front of the idol, there is an inextinguishable flame which is believed to be protecting the holy place. The road is leading to the main gate of the park. Now, we have reached there. After being checked, we entered the park, which is very peaceful. On the top of the temple, we can see the flag of Buddha along with the national flag of Nepal. Standing in front of the Ashoka pillar, we found a number of Japanese tourists chanting and worshipping Lord Buddha. Now we have come to the holy peepal tree. Buddhists come here from time to time to pray solitarily. We have reached the spot where there are chaitas surrounding the holy pond. It is believed that most of the chaitas were built during Ashoka's reign. After excavations, all these structures and lots of stupas also found there. Inside the temple, camera is not allowed, so we cannot show the pictures of the inside of the temple. The holy site of Lumbini has ruins of ancient monasteries, a sacred Bodhi tree, an ancient bathing pond, the Ashokan pillar, and the Mayadevi temple. The site is traditionally considered to be the birthplace of Buddha. In the middle of the park, situated a white-colored building that is Mayadevi temple. Inside the building, we found the birthplace of Buddha. From early morning to late evening, pilgrims from various countries perform chanting and meditate at the site. Lumbini has a number of temples, including the Mayadevi temple, and various new temples have been founded by the Buddhist organizations from various countries. Some of these have been completed and some are still under construction. There is a Pushkarini, or the holy pond, where Buddha's mother took the ritual dip prior to his birth and where he had his first bath. There are other sites near Lumbini where Buddha took his previous births, achieved ultimate enlightenment, and finally relinquished their earthly forms. Lumbini was made a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1997. Nipponzan Myohoji decided to build a peace pagoda, which is being visited by many people of different cultures and religions every day. As some Hindus regard the Buddha as an incarnation of Vishnu, for that thousands of Hindus have begun to come here on the pilgrimage during the full moon of the month of April and May, that is Buddha Purnima, to worship Queen Mayadevi or Rupa Devi, the mother goddess of Lumbini. Now, sun is going to set. So, we are back to our story. On an auspicious night of Vaishakhi Purnima, Siddhartha was born. Just after his birth, everyone was astonished. When the newborn walked 7 steps and white lotus bloomed at his every step, Mayavati got ill and was brought back to Kapilavastu. Listening to the wonderful account, King Shuddhadhana went to Mayavati to see the newborn. The child showed different signs of a great person. The king was highly impressed. Since Mayavati got ill soon after giving birth, she died after 7 days. From then, Mayavati's son Siddhartha was being raised by her sister Gautami, which resulted in the king's marriage with her. Gautami and Shuddhadhana called a priest on the occasion of the rice ceremony. On the day, they requested to the priest to forecast the newborn's future.
मुझे बहुत प्रसन्नता हुई हमारे शाक्य राज परिवार के अब सम्मानित गुरुजन रहे हैं। अब कृपया करके मेरे संतान की भविष्य के विषय में कुछ सलाह दें। हम आपके आभारी रहेंगे।
राजन, इस बालक को मेरे सामने सुलाई ताकि मैं इनको अच्छे से निखार सकूं।
The priest asked the king to place the child on the cradle first, so that he could observe him well. The king did so. The priest was spellbound, seeing divine signs of the child. Everyone saw surprising acts like reciting slokas, which meant, "I am the greatest." The priest got astonished and said to himself, "This royal child exhibits all the characteristics of the great being laid down in any ancient texts."
इस बालक में एक महान इंसान बनने का वो सारे गुण या लक्षण विराजमान है। ये बालक इतिहास के पन्ने पर सुनहरे अक्षर में अपने परिचय लिख जाएगा। सर्वगुण निपुण का अधिकारी। ऐसा बालक मैंने अपने पूरे जीवन में नहीं देखा। अपने पूरे जीवन में नहीं देखा। राजन, ये बालक अगर बड़ा होकर सांसारिक जीवन व्यतीत करता है तो ये राजाओं का राजा बनेगा। लेकिन अगर वो इस राजभवन के बाहर और तो संपूर्ण जागरूक बुद्ध बनेगा, जो मनुष्य और देवों का श्रेष्ठ गुरु के रूप में माना जाएगा। आपके संतान के विशेष गुरु को देख के मुझे सिर्फ एक ही राह नजर आई है। और सांसारिक जीवन का अधिकारी कतई नहीं बनेगा, बल्कि संत के पथ पर अग्रसर होगा। उसे भगवान के रूप से माना जाएगा और भगवान के रूप से उसे पूजा भी जाएगा। निस्संदेह ये बात सच है।
आपकी दूरदर्शिता ये बयान करती है वो इस संसार जीवन त्याग करेगा। उसके इस मार्ग की चयन का क्या कारण होगा?
And he predicted that if the child remained within the palace, he would become a great monarch. But if he leaves the palace, he would be a great monk, the fully enlightened Buddha.
4 लक्षण को देखते हुए वो बदल जाएगा। एक, कोई वृद्ध व्यक्ति, दूसरा कोई बीमार व्यक्ति, तीसरा कोई मृत व्यक्ति, चौथा कोई संत। इनको देखने के बाद आपके संतान अपने जीवन का सबसे महत्वपूर्ण सिद्धांत लेकर अपनी सिंहासन त्यागेगा। और वो धर्म पावन राह चुनकर बुद्ध के नाम से जगत में प्रज्वलित होगा।
Next day, king showed the child to his people, introducing him as the future king. According to the Buddhist scripture, Gautama was born in Lumbini and raised in Kapilavastu, which might be situated in present-day Tilaurakot, Nepal, or Piprawa, India. The Tilaurakot village, it is under the Village Development Committee in Kapilavastu district in the Lumbini zone of southern Nepal. Kapilavastu was an ancient city in the Indian subcontinent, which was the capital of the Shakyas. The king Shuddhadhara and Queen Mayadevi lived at Kapilavastu, and their son Prince Siddhartha or Gautama spent 29 years of his life there. In the 19th century, search of the historical site of the Kapilavastu was revealed by the accounts of Faxian and later by Zhuangzhang, the Chinese Buddhist monks who made early pilgrimage to the site. Some archaeologists have identified the place in the present-day Tilaurakot of Nepal, and some others have identified Piprawa of India as the locations of the historical site of Kapilavastu. We had gone to both the sites. Actually, we realized that the Kapilavastu city was very big, and if we divide the city in two parts, the northern part is in the Tilaurakot in Nepal, and the southern part of the Kapilavastu is in Piprawa of Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. Tilaurakot is under the Village Development Committee in Kapilavastu district in the Lumbini zone of southern Nepal. It might have been the cardinal point of the ancient Shakya city of the Kapilavastu. In 1996, the Nepal government had identified the tentative site and it was listed in the UNESCO. Now we have reached Kapilavastu of Tilaurakot. In front of the site, there is a gate. After crossing the gate, we found on our left-hand side the board displaying the historical site of Kapilavastu, which is now in Nepal, Tilaorakot. Just beside that board, we find another board giving the detailed excavation history of this place. Now we look around the beautiful site.
नमस्ते मेरा नाम से राजकुमार यादव है। अभी आप सभी लोगों को हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूँ। ये कपिलवस्तु तिलोराकोट जो शाक्य लोगों का ये जो राजधानी है, जहाँ पे सिद्धार्थ गौतम बुद्ध 29 बरस बाल्यकाल खेले कूदे हुए ये स्थल, इसको अभी तत्काल तिलोराकोट के नाम से।
Our guide Mr. Rajkumar Yadav said that after excavation, it was found that the wall of the fort is 22 feet wide and 4 main doors are in the main wall of the fort. There is a deep canal surrounding the fort which is full of water. The source of the water is the river nearby. Now we are standing in front of the western door of the western part of the fort. After excavation, the archaeologists found that the road was 10 feet wide. The British archaeologists found the holes in the wall and assumed that the holes were made for the wooden pillars to stand. The actual layout of the Kapilavastu is ruined, but the remnants of the structure are found there and excavations are still being continued to find out the actual layout. Now we are coming to another site of Kapilavastu, that is Piprawa, which is situated in India, the state of Uttar Pradesh. A buried stupa was discovered by William Claxton Pepe, a British colonial engineer and a landowner of an estate at Piprawa. Following the severe famine that decimated northern India in 1897, Pepe led a team in January 1898, excavating a large earthen mound on his land. After digging, they found a large stone coffer which contained 5 small vases containing fragments of bones ashes and jewels. On one of the vases was a Brahmi script which was translated by George Buller, a leading European epigraphist of the time. This inscription implied that the bone fragments were part of the remains of Gautam Buddha, the founder of the Buddhism. Vincent Smith, William Howe, Thomas Rhys Davids, and Emily Sennert all translated the inscriptions to confirm that those were the relics of Buddha. In 1905, John Fleet, a former epigraphist of the government of India, published a translation that supported this interpretation. After that, in 20th century, from 1971 to 1973, a team of the Archaeological Survey of India, led by K.N. Srivastava, resumed the excavations at the Piprava Stupa site. The team discovered a casket containing fragments of charred bone at a location several feet deeper than the coffer which William Claxton Pepe had previously excavated. After that, Srivastava found some relic containers in the disposed form of a black polished ware. Srivastava dated the find to the 5th or 4th century BCE, which would be consistent with the period in which Buddha is believed to have lived. The bone fragments recovered by Srivastava team are currently kept at the National Museum, New Delhi.
भगवान बुद्ध का अस्थि कलश का स्तूप है। कुशीनगर में भगवान बुद्ध का जब महापरिनिर्वाण हो गया था तो कुशीनारा पे शरीर को जलाया गया। शरीर जलाने का जो राख हुआ उस राख को 8 भागों में बांटा गया। एक भाग शाक्य लोगों को मिला। शाक्य लोगों ने कलश में रख करके ये खुदाई करवा के ये स्थापना किए। ये भगवान बुद्ध का अस्थि कलश का स्तूप है। इसी का पूजा पाठ करने के लिए देश विदेश से लोग आते हैं।
Excavations in Ganvaria exposed 2 massive baked brick structural complexes with impressive projected entrances. The larger one, which is situated on the east, lies on the western fringe of the mounds and is about 39 square meters. It has 25 rooms with a gallery at each of the 4 corners. A ring well having a diameter of 85 centimeters was observed in the gallery on the northwestern corner. The well has still water in it. The rooms and galleries were constructed all around an open courtyard which is about 25 square meters. Today, the ancient site of Piprawa and Ganvaria, under the surveillance of the Kapilavastu Museum, is controlled by the Archaeological Survey of India. Now we are back to our story. The son of God, or Devaputra, was born in the kingdom of Kapilavastu with spiritual virtues. We all know the history of God Buddha. Mayadevi and Shuddhadhana's only son, Buddha or Siddhartha, was born here at approximately 2500 years ago. According to some historians, he was born in 563 BCE, and other historians said that he was born in 480 BCE, but no one is sure about the exact date.